You type the message, stare at it for a second, and then delete everything like it never existed. Your thumb pauses in the air as if the next word could decide something important. And your brain suddenly becomes louder than the conversation itself. You tell yourself it's just a text, but something inside you reacts like it's a turning point. You rewrite the same sentence again with the same caution you'd use to cut a thin wire on a bomb. You add a word, remove a word, soften the tone, and try to craft the version that feels the safest. You're not searching for the right message. You're searching for the message that won't hurt you. Your chest feels tighter, even though nothing dangerous is happening, and your breath becomes shallow, as if your body senses a threat your mind hasn't named yet. You try to sound normal, but your nervous system is already preparing for the worst version of the outcome. You think you're editing your words, but you're really editing your fear. Every time you delete the message, you're trying to erase the possibility of being misunderstood. Every new version is your attempt to protect yourself from judgment you haven't even received. You type as if someone is watching you from inside the screen, even though they're not there yet. You tell yourself you're being careful, thoughtful, or considerate, but the truth is quieter and heavier than that. Your brain is rehearsing emotional safety the way some people rehearse speeches. You're not afraid of sending the wrong text. You're afraid of feeling the wrong thing after you send it. The moment your thumb hovers over send, your thoughts race through scenarios faster than you can process them. You imagine their reaction, their tone, their silence, their misunderstanding, and all the meanings they might assign to your words. You're responding to a future that hasn't happened yet as if it already disappointed you. You rewrite the message again because your mind searches for a perfect combination of words that eliminates any chance of rejection. That's why even small texts feel like high-stakes decisions. Your brain is trying to secure an emotional outcome it cannot control. Sometimes you stare at your phone long enough that the screen dims, and the whole message disappears before you decide what to do with it. Your body relaxes for a second when the screen goes dark because the pressure disappears with it. You didn't avoid sending the text. You avoided feeling vulnerable. You convince yourself you're not ready to send it yet, but what you're really not ready for is what their response might awaken in you. You don't want to appear needy, too emotional, too dry, too blunt, too distant, or too available. You're trying to shrink your personality into the smallest possible risk. Your brain remembers every moment someone misunderstood you, ignored you, or made you feel stupid for expressing something simple. It remembers how small you felt when your words didn't land the way you intended. That memory becomes the silent editor sitting over your shoulder while you type. You delete the message for the 4th time because you're scared of being misread. You delete it for the 5th time because you're scared of being seen too clearly. You send a softer, smaller version of yourself because the real version feels too fragile for a screen. Sometimes you type a long message full of emotion and honesty, and then you erase all of it because you're worried it will make things worse. You settle for a shorter message that hides everything you feel so you don't risk losing anything you care about. You call this being smart, but your heart knows it's a quiet form of surrender. You don't want the conversation to shift into conflict, even accidentally, because you've lived through arguments that started from nothing. You don't want anyone to feel upset or overwhelmed by your truth. You'd rather carry the discomfort alone than risk being the reason someone else feels anything negative. You text softly because you were once punished for being honest. You reword because you were once told your feelings were too much. You delete because you learned that speaking in your full voice didn't always end well. Your nervous system has learned to treat texting like a battlefield disguised as a chat window. Your brain warns you about potential danger by tightening your chest, speeding your heart, and making every word feel heavier than it is. It's not fear of communication, it's fear of emotional consequences. That's why your body reacts first, and your thoughts scramble to follow. That tiny blank pause before you start typing is your brain checking for emotional safety. The retyping spiral begins the moment your heart senses the slightest chance of losing connection. But here's the truth your brain forgets. You're not protecting the relationship. You're protecting yourself from a memory. You're guarding yourself from the version of you that once felt dismissed, unwanted, or misunderstood. You're repeating the same emotional choreography you learned years ago. Every deleted text is a small moment of self-protection disguised as indecision. Every rewritten sentence is a shield you use to soften the impact of vulnerability. And every final version is a compromise between what you want to say and what feels safe enough to reveal. You tell yourself you're being thoughtful, but deep down you know you're being scared. You're scared that one wrong phrase could shift the entire tone of the relationship. You're scared that being honest might push someone away. But the truth is that people who care about you don't read your messages like traps waiting to explode. They don't measure your worth by your typing rhythm or your choice of emojis. They don't overanalyze your sentences the way you do. Your brain just assumes they will because it was trained by old wounds, not present reality. It scans for danger even in harmless moments because that's how it learned to survive emotionally. The fear you feel isn't about texting, it's about being seen. And the longer you hide your truth, the more the fear grows quietly beneath the words you don't send. The more you shrink yourself in conversations, the heavier your emotions become inside you. You lose pieces of yourself trying to protect a connection that might not even be threatened. But this is also where the loop can break. The moment you notice your chest tightening, your breath shortening, your thumb hesitating, that's the moment your body is giving you a signal. It's the first second of awareness that lets you interrupt the spiral. You don't have to send the full truth immediately, but you can send something real. You can send a message that reflects you instead of your fear. You can speak without hiding behind a shield of over-editing. Because the people meant for you don't want the fifth edited version of your message. They want the version you wrote the first time. They want the version that sounded like a real human, not a safe script. They want the words that come from your heart, not from your fear. And the moment you choose honesty over the loop, something shifts. The message stops being a threat and becomes a bridge. Your words stop being a test and become an opening. You stop deleting yourself. You stop shrinking. You stop letting fear decide how you communicate. It only takes one moment of courage to break a pattern you've repeated for years. And the next time your thumb hovers over the screen and your heart races, you'll know that hesitation is not a warning, it's a doorway. And stepping through that doorway is the first step toward being understood, not avoided. Because the people who care about you can only meet the parts of you you're willing to show. And when you stop deleting your words, you give them a chance to meet the real you. If this moment feels familiar, then you already know why you're here. And somewhere inside, you also know you're ready to stop rewriting yourself just to feel safe.